Welcome to Mortician's Tale. Let's start the game. September 14th, 10:15 a.m. Okay, looks like I got mail. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm merely going to be the man who delivers bodies to you. And helps with some more of the heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about the hearse driver? I tell you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy's a sweetheart. She runs the tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. Welcome to our new funeral director. Hello everyone, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie, she told me to refer to. Charlie is a recent graduate who comes highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home with our little family. It'd be nice to cater a lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better. Okay. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best to explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you'll find cremation stair, cremator chair, and embalming station. Always since you read this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let us know if you have any questions. From Jen. Huh? I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now. I know we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so you can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were still a thing until now. I guess it's not something I really think about much. Should look more into this, learn some about your world and industry because as I said, you are a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my Zoom gig is amazing. I can't believe someone paid me to move to London, and not London ON, singular capital of Canada, to look at... What is this, London, Ontario, or what? I didn't get a job in the art history degree. I'll tell you more about when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face when you hear the excellent British impersonation. I will sign you up for Funeral Month's newsletter. Consider it your graduation gifts. I love you. I'm super proud of you. Jen. So that must be her sister? I believe you said it in Old K. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He says you were really friendly. He's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to this sense of humor. Your first body is Miss Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. Family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. Notice he's a little bit more united than previous family suites dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Miss Garcia, I do not think it's important to take the time to clean her. I do think it's important to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and for the loved ones. You find Miss Garcia in the prep room. Huck soon. Of course, we'll happy oblige your request. No embalming for the closed casket. I'll ensure the doctor receives your request. From Mia Garcia. We're happy that the Rose daughter for my funeral, mother's funeral. We understand that there's the usual procedures must be followed in these situations, but if you can kindly not embalm my mother, it would be greatly appreciated. We will proceed to close casket for the service. I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to be any negative impact on the environment. And since she's fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be a shame for her final minutes to counter the way she lived. Does embalming have a bad effect on the environment? I didn't know that. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we'll bring you a newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are. This is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that, but here's some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, following the guidelines, don't be a jerk, should work. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy at this time and a place to disengage if you have to be on your cell phone, so you don't do it inside the funeral home. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but the other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Be quiet and give others space when they might need it. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own way. Just remember respectful when the grieving family and friends. Happy reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experience with the deceased can be a productive part of healing process. Give them condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Dress appropriately. This will change based on customs and deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. Give a gift or a sign at the reception book. This can be flowers, a nice card, but also thought that counts here. Something that this can be even just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Is be kind and respectful. What is this? Oh, dates in 1956. Okay. Oh, I got another email as soon as I left? What? Oh, I just had to respond. Okay. Get over there. This is Miss Marcia. This is a prep room where you'll prepare bodies for burial and viewing. Because the family has requested a closed casket cemetery with no embalming, you're just going to clean the body. Cotton balls. Spoonge. I found the spoonge. Find the spoonge. Here it is. Drag it over to clean the body. Okay. That's it, you're done. Miss Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of the dressing and put her in the casket. It's time for Miss Garcia's funeral. You're responsible to take care of the deceased body, but also more importantly, pay your respects to the loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Oh, I put a little black dress on. Okay. This little boy. I'm hungry. When can we go? I hate wearing pantyhose. The legs are so itchy, but it's always cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters you should knit for me now. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming wears me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to put cancer and putting it in the ground like that. Or into the sewers. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Hey, stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. We usually don't small talk about these things. At least that's what I always was taught. Okay. October 11th at 10:09 a.m. Oh. Got an email. Hey, okay. Let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing Tyke Lacey's liver, a specimen that we were here in the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907. The liver was tapered inward from the doctor leading the autopsy believed it was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it was kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular. While people associate it with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with biosoptopus, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but it also can be caused by pregnancy, so... Of course, it's probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal damage. I'm tired of the condensation about my wardrobe, but also implies I don't know what I'm doing. They're kind of the things I specifically research, yet I am treated like I know nothing. I'm having a day, Charlie. I'm so frustrated right now. Can I rant for a second? I'm tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, and anyone, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately. Even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyway. And, I hate how misogyny gets spelled in Fox concern, Jen. I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know that corset can do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers, so definitely not hurting me as much as your condensation is hurting me. I'm sorry I'm out of sorts. I'll send you another email in a bit when I've cooled off. Okay, let's... Just passing a message along from the hard work. I used to pass on your deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did at my mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way. I know how much it was due for the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making a difficult time easy for all of us. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trip around town. I was thinking, strange, I know. Did you ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager about to start university. A friend of mine was killed in a car accident. Totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so the big day, we all got our boost suits on, dresses, and packed ourselves into a few cars. There was a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, you know. While we were in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got out a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know not to get in the way of a person drove through the intersection and smashed right into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got on the phone call, hung up and started laughing their ass off in a way that makes you not sure if they're crying, if they've gone fully in the deep end. And she laughed then, and we all started giggling because go figure, life is messed up sometimes, you know. There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remember the story and I wanted to tell you. Because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what it actually means. Before you get any ideas, it has nothing to do why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later, and nothing unremarkable. Someone has to do it. I've got a strong stomach, so why not? See you in a bit, Charlie. We know everyone wants... Oh, okay, I don't want to read this one. I'll just get on to whatever I'm doing. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Razor? Why do I gotta shave them? In order to break rigor mortis, you have to massage, click and drag it over the body. Click and drag what? Have to massage, click and drag it over the body? Lotion? Scalpel? Needle? Glue? This? Oh. The eyes deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag the eye caps to each eye socket to give shape. Keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Oh, great. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag cotton balls in the mouth to give it shape. Keep the mouth open, you need to suture it shut. Click and drag the needles and thread over the jaw to close it. Ugh. Okay. It probably involves removing blood, replacing with preservative chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. Okay. Tube. Thick on the over the cardinal arteries. Grab additional tube and drag it to the candle. Okay. Okay. Yes, hold them back up. What's this? First, you need to drain the organ's remaining fluid. The trocar. And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duval's makeup, as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. Time to attend the funeral. Oh. Do I have to attend everybody's funeral? Came out of nowhere, I mean. It always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and then it goes poop, the person is gone. Just like gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about it for too long, like staring at the sun. I start to feel fuzzy when I think about it. It's so weird how our bodies start working like that. Yeah. So strange just not seeing someone wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals, so mostly white. But, like, definitely not red, no matter what. He always wanted to have take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. Threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Humming to himself. Okay. December 2nd, 10:22 a.m. Okay, my emails. Hello, Charlie. Today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me your questions. Reading this lovely note, thank you. Hi, Amy. Thank you for this wonderful evening. Your staff put together for my father's funeral. He was an easy man to get along with, but I'm happy you have seen him off in such a kind way. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know you hate it when I give you dating advice, but let me hear you out. But hear me out. There's some dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anyone since the breakup of 2014 that we'd never speak again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get from people being scared to ask about your day. So maybe meeting someone in the industry isn't the worst idea. Just please promise me you'll please consider it. It's hard for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all across the way of the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin in which you got the aesthetics, but are super hot right now. But vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom ran over. I'm going to try it out because it turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas, Charlie? I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. Been spoiled by having a best friend who's as much as a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you signed up for Dead Meat, it isn't the best name for the death industry dating wedding. Tinder rules apply. You have to like me, and you have to come. If you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works yet, though. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've been with us for a few months, and maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mom and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so maybe I'll grab a bit of fast food before taking the hearse to the car wash. 2 birds, 1 stone, and swinging back home. Do you want anything? Beef and cheddar? I'm gonna take the hearse through the drive-thru. Of course, freeze people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or the following social medias, no doubt you heard of misgendering that happens with transgender people, at times subjects to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have their best wishes overruled by their families, and have their hair cut, and are buried under the wrong names, and subjected to wrong pronouns in the obituary announcements. We hear a lot about this because we believe in treating every person in the same level of compassion, respect, and care. This absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased's wishes per their life's experience. The CDD Funeral Director Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers a fraud detective. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of body or other source, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters the world into issues since bodies can be so different. And because of the ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that death certificates must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived it. It's a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death as people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering and death takes away all this respect. It also inflicts hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the disease. So what can we do as a funeral director? Listen to the people who have come in your office. In America, especially some of the marriages not be recognized under legal depending on the laws around the same-sex marriage. Does this not mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other the same way as another couple? Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work in the next of your kin, your duty is also to ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. Okay. I'm going to cremate this person, I guess. Before we cremate Miss Hall, we need to prepare her body. Miss Hall's family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process, as not to damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. Click and drag it and place it on the purple tray. We need to be able to identify Miss Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification key to place it on the coffin. Where I place? Great, Miss Hall is all set to be cremated now. I just put it in? Wouldn't that make it so I had to sift around? I put her in her urn. This is a crematorium. Contrary to popular belief, the cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Usually, the cremator will break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Start by placing the urn in the cremator. Click and drag the bone fragments and drop them down in the corner. Okay. I would love to click and drag them. Okay. Make sure to put Mace's necklace back into the urn. Well done. Amy will take the urn to the funerals parlor and present it alongside some flowers. I didn't think people with who got cremated usually had funerals. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we were all here talking. She's always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted a smile, and she said so. Glad she was cremated and not in the open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least you got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. Okay. February 14th, 10:14 a.m. Got an email. Hi all. This is a very heavy heart that I write to tell you that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources like Google told me that it would be best and easiest to say break the ice, be direct, but be remorseful. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose our services. It was my memorial to him. to Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become my family, including you, Charlie, most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition in other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are, and take on more business and offers more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So I've been brought, or sold, either way. Soon, Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters, starting from the beginning of the next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes, though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as their move on the part to keep up the image, and that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. Sign the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have good reputation. They have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you weren't without a job. I'm sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but admittedly, I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me. Please understand. I thought I would like to see this in thank you note. I'm so internally grateful that we were able to accommodate her request for my sister's funeral. It was so beautiful service. She would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I thought you would look forward to this in situations like this. We typically connect people like Ryan with grief counselor or other professionals who can really help them. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know how else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self. It would be good for you to start building these kind of relationships on your own. Hi, Amy. I know this email might be a bit odd. You said if I was ever having troubles, I should just reach out. You would know somebody I could talk to about all this stuff. I don't know what to do. I know my grandmother had lived a full, good life and was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but I still feel empty, Amy. I never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough. With work and the will, I'm trying to. Just the best mom she can. I just need someone to tell me it'd be okay. Thank you. I'm sorry we inconvenienced. Right. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales of the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like seriously, it's really, really difficult. I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk at the hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start healthy complexion, high score gets to pick the restaurant we go to when one of us next is in town. Okay. You live your life mindful to the environment you'll be doing, reduce pollution, generally help out when you can. Why not continue doing that after death? At least it's that thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green and natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular and focused a few more rules. Mainly, is that bodies aren't allowed to be involved with chemicals that can damage the environment. And bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, the environment. Just maybe not so good for big businesses. Let's not forget people, this is still business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and restore preserved natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we're gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think that going green funerals are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and listen. Let's see what Tales of the Crypt is. Link left to dig. What am I doing? I don't know what this is. Anyway. Please see the note below, but the pacemaker can be tricky. Yes, if there was any special instructions we want to pass along. Just cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that it would need to be removed. Okay. I'll take it. Mr. Raines came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any vitals from him, as his family not want to provide us anything to include. However, Mr. Raines has a pacemaker, and we have to remove it before... Because pacemakers are batteries and they explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing Mr. Raines' pacemaker. I think they would have done that at the hospital, since they know where it is, right? You can see the pacemaker. Click on the forceps and click and drag it out. So away and place around identification keg on the camera. Mr. Raines is all set to be cremated. Hold on, we take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Do you ever end up cleaning the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. You sound like a difficult man. You're stubborn. That's just it, stubborn. Wonder if he liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. Never seemed to really care if I was there or not. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. I'd tell you the time we tailgated. I always told him quit smoking, of course, but he never listened to me, so that figures. February 28th, 10:35 a.m. Thought I'd pass this along. Hi Amy, I just wanted to thank you for the service the other month and apologized if it was abrupt. Kind of a shock for me. I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet, and it hasn't been easy. Mushrooms. If you ate mushrooms so much, I found the perfect thing for you. Been thinking about death, I know, shocker. Look what it's done for me. I just think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it. I'm writing you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyway, the idea is a biodegradable suit that his Cease wears. It is made what people call biomix, i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help you decompose bodies. neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrition from the soil and plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. To be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love the death that's happening right now. We might as well do something. We're in the ground, right? Love you. Think about this and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If not this, then maybe some ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm probably gonna do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? Welcome back. Now, we really do lists here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a list would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral? We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since it's not such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice, but some things will be more comfortable than other people. But fortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who is grieving. So here's the funeral month's top 5 things not to say at a funeral. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this was true, nobody wants to hear it. It's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of someone they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's not true, even if it's true, don't be a jerk and just don't say it. They were saved. No religious statements, just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views. Is not only is it not always comforting, but it can also be insulting. They're with the angels now. See above now. Then rise, rinse, repeat. Please let me know how I can help. This one's tricky. If you want to help, that those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them. Take them to their favorite restaurant or buy tickets to see their movie together. I know how you feel. Even if they think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to compensate. Sometimes people just want to hear your experiences, but don't assume that they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list can just be applied for any situation. Don't say stuff for the sake of saying stuff. Just say I'm sorry if you don't know what else to say. Okay. I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront the situation yet. It's never easy. Rosen Daughters has been asked to prepare a body of a young man who took his own life, and he had to prepare and ask for his cremation, but the family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Oh. Husband prepared, who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for the cremation, but his family demanded traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney, or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will, or advance directive regarding his wishes. So family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do what his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to help take this on if you're uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later this afternoon. Charlie, is suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Well, this regards our son's will, and excludes a matter of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. No, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to click back into this. If he wanted to be cremated, he should have been cremated. The deceased family had it open for us. Start cleaning the body. She's no longer suffering or in pain. Yeah, she's in a better place now. She was too good for this world. Okay, thanks, Aunt Sandy. I haven't cried since she died, not once. Now Anna's crying, and not me. I'm the one who lost a parent. Where is Maria? She couldn't be here. She didn't want to see her mother's body. I mean, I don't blame her. Anyway, I'm pretty impressed with the food. Did you try the MR or something? Doesn't look like her at all. March 3rd, 10:45 a.m. Chad Grant. We are pleased to bring on the Rose and Daughters as part of the Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc. We another intuition along hundreds of properties owned by the country. Of course, as part of this adjustment proceeded on the Hillside Heritage Enterprise culture, we have a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out a memo regarding any specific and details such as changes, accept them to be followed impeccably. That we're leaving the way of the Rose and Daughters from now on. Can I just say first off, this is bullcrap. I know how these corporations run. I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, I really don't believe that. I'm just upset. I can't get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all your businesses for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in and now they have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitative. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam. And these emails aren't really appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. Can't really write much now. I have a lot of work to do. I have to do with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper from the surgeon put on after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have a catalog. What is my life? What is this sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be in it. Might help that you're feeling restless you were talking about before. It'd be good to talk about some things that you're feeling. A lot of death positive people there. Sounds like it's a safe place. From Death Cafe. Come increasing awareness of death. The view of helping people makes the most of our infinite lives. Join us, have tea, and take care and talk with others in our thoughts. Fear and illuminations on death. The founder of the death movement, John Underwood, once said, when people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. Okay. Even in our own culture may be something many of us are familiar with. For many people, all they know is funeral traditions are what they've seen in media. But I think this goes without saying, funerals, rites, and traditions aren't always the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with death. But the goal is almost always the same, offering support and guidance, ease the people who are grieving. In Judaism, the interment usually begins immediately after someone has passed. Up until burial, the body is never supposed to be alone. So often families will soon appoint a shumer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for funeral begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local asthmatic communities organizations are also involved and help the family make agreements for the funeral furnace and funeral. But not all practices are strictly religious focused. In the Augets and the South Korea, almost a graveyard of space began to shrink drastically. causing a law to be passed that requires families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families began to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death bead. It also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan. Remains are more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. But not all practices are somber either. Ever hear the turning of bones, or Famalahai, a ritual in the Malgnese people of Madagascar? As families return to the ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration of remembrance and a way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Death can be a difficult time for people, obviously, but doesn't mean that it isn't beauty in the way we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. Below the details of your next client. Ensure that you follow requested specifications exactly. Once you're done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you the next month. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Joycelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than expected. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Leah. Oh. Okay. Do we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. She always so careful, or she wore her helmet signal and used the bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I don't want to ask Leah. This has been hard enough with them, without asking for the legal ramifications of this. After all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with death of their partner all by themselves. I have to go through all her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No thanks, I mean no, I don't know. So intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would have killed me if other people saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book, except for to you. Yeah, she was special. So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it, seeing her body. March 24th, 10:30 a.m. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work. P.S. I really want mozzarella sticks. Can both be hangry and angry. No one will say hangry ever. As stated in the previous email, there are a few rules of conduct I expect you to follow now. on wild premises belong to Hillside Heritage Inc. Foremost, there is required uniform and strict dress code from you. Second, most importantly, is that there is no tattoos to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, make sure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell. Always encourage the deceased loved one to purchase the higher quality package. We find it encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style and deceased experience with no price limit on it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved one to purchase our premium sandwich and appetized food packages. Our partner, Catering Concepts, provides high-quality food that we deliver weekly through their factory. It can easily be defrosted in the morning of the funeral. Expect all the above changes to be executed effectively immediately. Ensure a smooth transition to high-quality service of Hillside Heritage from now on. Hello, Charlotte. I reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family requiring what we have Hillside Heritage Service can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you this from the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals, as they are not cost efficient. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Inc. must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, though, so try your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to those instead traditional burial practice, complete with embalming caskets and vaults instead. I trust you to ensure you will not lose any customers, Charlotte. I saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs, like a human being, Charlie, a human being. Your species be a begin of our end. I'm just gonna probably the Hillside received contract to the city would dispose of unclaimed bodies. This is important run-of-view stream for us. I'm sure I do not need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Inc. is paid decent wage from the city at our services, the commission is preferred here as it is more cost-efficient to options. The first unclaimed body will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body is yet to be claimed. No specific preparations are needed for this cadaver, aside from cremation. Okay. Before we cremate this gentleman, we need to prepare his body. He doesn't seem to have any valuables on him that would be damaged to their cremation, so let's just worry about putting his identification tag on the coffin with him. The gentleman is all set to be cremated now. Okay. Hold on, Matthew. Take the urn to the funeral parlor. Present it alongside flowers. There's nobody here. April 9th, 10:19 a.m. Man, how long is this game? Hello, we are thrilled to announce Hillside Terrace and Cemetery Rose and Daughters who signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us to access cadavers to come through their pediatric and maternity wards. Excited the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital to take over 100,000 patients and receive over 50,000 for donations annually. No doubt, boom for Hillside Enterprise. Hey, Charlie, it's official. I put in my 2 weeks notice. I know how unhappy I am working with Mega Corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself. But you I'm worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She loves Ava possession and equally freaked out by the possessive scenes, and so utterly delighted by the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. That was our best recommendation in a while, or Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried about you had lost your taste, but yeah, her name is Lily. She's super death positive, isn't freaked out by my work, and also isn't too into the last dude I saw, Jason, Michael, guy I can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk whatever I want, and she's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say that I like working with death, and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know, memento mori, or whatever they taught us in one of those poetry classes we took. We just clicked. Feels good, fun, affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. And maybe I'll kiss her on top of the Ferris wheel and be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of shocked from your last email. Do you think you're gonna do it? I know you have my support 100% no matter what you decide. Okay. You see, you're not able to convince the Dominican family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order not to lose this sale. Please read the enclosed email for a lesson on how to properly use upsell potential customers. Do not want to see any customer because you refusal to upsell. That is part of your job. Dear Mr. Grant, okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you the best way to honor your wife is through traditional funeral package instead. I promise you that the wife's funeral will be beautiful, intimate gathering where all her beloved family and friends will come together and say their goodbyes. The standard embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one time as she is beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Letting us take care of the food with your preparation food choice will enclose you that you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard time right now. Please let us, as bros and daughters, make this a little difficult time easier for you. Regarding last time I spoke, my daughters and I will still prefer to host the home funeral ourselves. Keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden I don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she's proper send-off. Okay. Sounds like she's thinking about leaving. It's understandable. Insert the eye caps, here we go. Glue her eyes shut. And put cotton balls in her mouth. Okay, it says no, not today. Tubes. Thing. More tubes. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me hungry? You're always hungry. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. I know. Yeah, but I don't know. They may have their reasons. Oh yeah? What do you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I heard that show was so good. I saw the video of the one kid actor doing karaoke. So cold in here. I think they have the air conditioner on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. It would be good to stretch my legs. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad for not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but the Chad guy said seemed right. I don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. I wish I hadn't yelled at her before. It's okay. She knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be hard on yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna miss her. Me too. I'm in a different location. Charlie dear, I am so proud of you. I knew there was something special when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm always happy. Best wishes. Sorely miss you and Matthew for my terrible sense of humor. Hey Charlie, when I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering. It was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully I've concentrated on my driving skills, and since I'm working as a wait for it bus driver, school bus driver, Charlie, can you believe that? Pretty sure I said the most important my job was now steering. I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you, but for some reason I was worried you'd think less of me. But I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind. And besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children at my gnat. I actually love it. These kids are pretty cute. Don't tell Amy I told you that. She was always harping on me for not having any kids and being cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat. Seeing you, Matthew. Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you, seriously. I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase, but you've stuck through it like a tramp. You deserve this. Finally getting your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying to not be too cheesy right now. I can't wait for the home next weekend for our visit and check out our new space. Yes, I heard about these green bureau pods. When I find the link in my 1 million tab, I'll shoot it over to you. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for understanding your work. I made it easier already. See you at 1 p.m. Magnolia Forest, Funeral Home, and Natural Burial Park. Named after magnolia trees, surrounded by the funeral home, specialized in film funeral green burials in our Natural Burial Park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to a closer relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a one can be confusing and sometimes traumatic time. We want you to feel truly involved in your loved ones' death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved ones for the comfort of your home, to be present in their cremation, or bury them in your natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Our Natural Burial Park allows the body to return to the earth, recycled naturally. It is intended for environmental substance alternative to existing funeral practices. Park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages, as we welcome beloved pet families and also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves if they choose to. Infants are buried at no charge. Okay. So she bought her own funeral home and started her own business? This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. We're like zooming away. Thinking more? Oh wow. Well, pets? So the game was really... It was like, it was sweet, but it was a little sad. And I didn't know that about, embalming. So I guess I never thought about it, but that is, we're putting chemicals in somebody and that leaches into the ground, so. Yeah, so that was a Mortician's Tale. You can find this game on itch.io if you'd like to play it for yourself. And thanks everybody for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.